So we are coming to part two now. I wanted you now to explain to me, like, okay, now your life now in Finland.
In Finland.
How have you seen it since you've came? How many years now have you been here in Finland?
I'll be turning 2 in the next 2 months.
So in
The next
general,
1.5
yes,
months.
yes,
In
just in
general,
general,
2 years.
yes. So how has it been since the first day you reached in Helsinki? How are the people? The guy who took you there, like you stayed there and then you came to Vasa, everything.
I can say there is, in everything we do, there is always a good and a bad side. I remember, like, sometimes you even feel like, was it necessary for me to come?
Okay.
I can just go back to Nairobi,
Yes,
to my corporate life. Remember that corporate life?
Yeah, yes.
In the boardroom?
Yes.
I can go back to the boardroom
Yes,
with my heels and my Turkish suit
Yes.
there.
Every time 6. You're working like around 9 hours or
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah. I remember my job was 8:30 to 5:30. Yeah, so sometimes like those thoughts come. Yeah, but coming to Finland, the pro side has been higher than
The con
the
side.
con side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember getting here and you start looking for a job. And it was a bit difficult. It is still difficult.
It's still difficult, yeah.
Yeah, and I can say the challenge number one is the language.
Which is the language,
And I don't know, but the other challenge is that you need to have that education from here for you to easily
integrate
to the system.
Yeah.
Yes. And since now some of us, our undergraduate courses are from other countries, somehow it is difficult to integrate, especially in my career. If someone wants the corporate setup of like being in office and everything. But I can say, since that is not my focus, or that was not my focus from the word go. Remember, I've told you I'm this teacher. I have this teaching mentality. I know that I'm going higher. So I've not taken it too much as a problem. But it was difficult at the start. Because remember, you've come here, you need to make money, you have bills to pay, and you've applied for jobs left, right, and center.
And another thing, you've left your husband is back home.
My husband was still in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Though I can say you were privileged, like we had some good cash flow.
How was the talk for you and for him to just allow you to come? You guys are like just married. You're supposed to be starting life together and everything. Then all of a sudden you're coming here. He's working a very good job back home.
Yeah.
How did it come? How did you guys talk and you came to an agreement on that?
I can say that is now where communication plays a very big role. Moving to Finland didn't come as a surprise. Even before we got married, we knew that
you guys used to talk about.
This was something that is coming. And we just wanted to be sure of ourselves again, that is this something we want to commit to? That is why somehow it took long as well.
Yeah.
So even when we were getting married, we knew that I'm still doing this thing, especially after the dissertation process in Kenya, like being so tough for me. I asked him, will I really finish my PhD with this sort of thing? I can't. This is a mere postgraduate in tax. Before I do my master's, before I do my PhD, I'll be 50. Like, that thirst won't be quenched as I wish. So we need to work on something better. So it didn't come as a surprise, but it is always tough to make that decision. And getting someone who will accept to forego that time. Because what is foregoing there is that time of companionship, that time of getting to be together, to understand each other better and everything. So it was not easy. But since it was a conversation that started way ago, it didn't come as a shock. And then him being a remote employee, the jobs he do, so we knew that he can always travel. And when things stabilize for me on this end, he'll come over and he can work from anywhere in the globe, because wherever he's working, they are working remotely. So it was a bit difficult, that movement. But now we had, like, I traveled to Kenya after being in Finland for like 3 months. I traveled back to Kenya. I stayed for a month, came back to Finland, and then summer last year I did some summer job here and there. Then I went back home for like 2 months, and then came back to Finland, and then he came to Finland as well. Yeah, so we managed that bit. And now, given our careers back at home, sometimes I could travel. I could be in Kampala myself. He could be in Tanzania and everything. So we had somehow started getting that feeling of being away from each other for some time. So it became manageable. But now the Finland process, before you get your address registered, before you get your police ID, before you get bank account, that whole process took me 2 months.
Okay, 2 months.
Yeah.
I think now it has changed. 2 months is long. For us, it was taking us like 2 weeks or something.
Oh, really? Yeah, for me it took 2 months. Yeah, because the DVV, that is the registration of address and everything, took like 3 or 4 weeks. But now that is waiting for the decision, for the confirmation.
Yeah.
There is that waiting time when you book. So you'll go online, you book, you get a date which is a week or 2 ahead. So, and then you go for the DVV, and then you have to wait for another 3 or 4 weeks. Then when you go there, you get the police ID, which will take you another week. Then you get the bank account. And those are the essentials before you get a job. And then I remember my first job was with to do mail sorting. I got an offer for mail sorting.
You did the mail sorting?
Yeah, wow. Going to post office there, then you arrange those letters.
How did you get that one? How did you get it here in Vasa, or you got it in Helsinki?
I got it in Helsinki.
In Helsinki.
I was still living in Vasa, but remember I had these friends in Helsinki. So I knew going to Helsinki to stay there is not a problem. Meanwhile, I'm still job hunting in Vasa. So I then went for some interviews. And there was this organization which was very positive. But they declined because of the number of hours in the work permit. Because remember, the student permit allowed us to work for 30 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, hours is the type A that we were getting for was 30 hours. But they wanted someone who will do full time, 37.5. There's this organization called Danfoss.
Yeah, Danfoss,
I went for an interview at Danfoss. And I was so disappointed. Then I tried other companies, even these cleaning companies in Vasa. I tried them.
That is the frustration thing about
I didn't get. I didn't get. They were like, they have more than enough people. They were more than enough people. I was like, what will I do now? Because as I told you, being in Nairobi, I'm this active person. So what will I do? So I moved back to Helsinki. I had those friends. Then they accommodated me. But you can't stay there for long.
Yeah, it's true.
You have to find your own footing. So I stayed there. I moved in November. So I stayed there the entire December. That is when things started taking shape. So I remember I got a part-time job for a restaurant cleaning, 2 hours a day. So I was like, that is a good start.
You get a restaurant cleaning for that. You imagine you've come from Kenya where you can work in an office and everything. Was it a change for you? Did you feel, in Finland, I think it makes us not feel that bad even if you're doing like a cleaning job as long as you're getting money. For you, how did you see it? Because you were working class back home in Kenya, and then now you're coming at it like you're going to do a job like that in a restaurant. Were you feeling like, this is not my job, I can't do this? Or you were happy you got it?
Actually, I didn't feel like this is not my thing. Remember, I told you how I grew up. I've been brought up in this village setup. So we were used to all manual jobs at home. Going to the farm, you go weeding, you go harvesting maize from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. You harvest coffee, you take it to the factory with with a donkey. We used to carry coffee beans to the factory. With a donkey.
Waiting for there until.
So being in my grandmom's place gave me this I can do anything. That is the idea that my grandma says. My grandma says, provided it is morally and legally right.
It's true.
Do it.
It's true.
it is not permanent. It is just a stepping stone. So I got that. It was an offer for 2.5 hours for 3 or 4 days in a week. So it was not an everyday job again. So I was like, it's okay, I've got it. At least I'll get something to pay rent. Now I even moved my house to Helsinki. I now applied for a new apartment, a student apartment in Helsinki. And then I moved from Vasa. So towards the end of November is when I got a job at an English daycare in Espoo. It's called ICEC West End. So I got a job in this kindergarten, and now remember I'm this teacher.
Yes. Now you see it's coming the way you wanted since long time ago. You wanted to teach people like
exactly just to show you the way. So I got a job at the daycare, the kindergarten. My class is always for 3-4 years. So I get this offer, and I'm like, it's okay, as a substitute. But now you'll get like 2-3 days every week, which was a plus for me.
It was a plus for you, yeah.
That is how I started.
Wow.
And from there, I never looked back.
So
I am doing the daycare job, and I have 3-4 days cleaning job. Then December, I did the mail sorting. Excuse me. December I was doing that mail sorting thing, the one I told you.
Yes.
I got the offer in October, but it was in December. So I did it for 3 weeks. And I got good money. I think I got like 900 euros.
Wow.
It was 1,000. I was like, oh, this is good.
Imagine just doing some hours and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I was going there in the evening.
Yeah.
During the day, I'm at the kindergarten. I leave the kindergarten at 4 p.m. When the parents pick their children. And then in the evening, I'm at the Posti Center there in Helsinki doing the sorting from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. when it was up to 10:30. Yeah, and life moved on. Came January, I went to Kenya, then came back. I continued. That is what I've been doing up to date.
How is the social life like here? Like even the way you are working in that daycare, like is there any different? Like what have you seen like is different from, even if back home we can do something like that, the way you can stay with the kids and everything? How are they treating kids here? Like
I think it's a totally different experience. I think that is why I can say kids here get used to being with the other children so fast because they are introduced to that environment very early. And that is why they are also their skills even like using whatever stuff, even if it's electronics, even if it's fixing like puzzles and everything. They are so fast because they get exposed to that environment. And remember, we all have different capacities or capabilities. So you get even to learn from others. You can see a 1-year-old kid fixing puzzle for 3-year-old. I remember there's a kid who is like 1.5. He fixes puzzles for 3-year-old kids. They're like, okay. Like they get exposed very early. And the care, if there is one thing that I live and appreciate that has made me not so scared about parenting, is the care that the kids get. You can see the attention that the teachers are giving. Like, I have a class of like 12 or 13 children, but we are 3 teachers.
What?
In the same class.
The same class.
So you can see the attention that the children are getting. Yes. Because now you'll have like, that teacher is attending to those kids building blocks, like 3 or 4 of them. You are here attending to these fixing puzzles, like 3 or 4 of them. The other teacher is attending to those who are coloring.
Wow.
Yeah. So they make the interaction with the kids very friendly and interacting with even like adults very friendly. As much as Finland is said to be a bit closed socially, like we don't interact so much with other people, especially as adults. Social, personal space is very important. But when you're a class, it's a totally different thing. It's a totally different thing because we are teaching them to bond. We are teaching them to work together. We're teaching them to fix problems together because remember when you're fixing this puzzle, the other one is watching and is like, no, not that way. you have to fix it this way. Remember we have this box. The puzzle comes with a box, and then there is that image that it should be. So this other one will be watching, and you're like, it has to be like this, it has to be like this. So they learn about working together very early, and that is a plus to the Finnish government. There is that one thing that I wish they could continue, and if there is any way they can make it better, it is that kindergarten thing.
Wow.
It is very good.
And
very good.
You're a new mom.
I'm a new
Is it hard here in Finland?
I would say no.
No, that is the first one. Okay, no, why?
I think my expectations versus reality are totally different. Like, remember, I've grown in Nairobi, like how people go for parental leave, and then that maternity period, you have to go back to work after 3 months. But here, remember, we can stay up to 9 months. And here, you'll still be earning, like even when you're at home for that 9 months, provided you've...
And even if you finish the 9 months, I had you choose,
you can still extend.
And then you get maybe 50% or something.
Now whatever benefit you get. But I think there is also the bright side of when before that period, you've been doing multiple hustles here and there, because I was now doing this. I'm now a teacher at the kindergarten. Sometimes I get gigs at the Ravintola, the restaurant. The Finnish.
The restaurant, yes.
The Finnish is
it is the Finnish is eating you now.
Is kicking, yeah. So you get these gigs at the Ravintola. And now when you're passionate about some things like cooking, it doesn't get you by surprise. I know for some people they find it difficult. But if you know it is something that it is a stepping stone before you get your ultimate goal, you'll crack it. And I say that everything starts with the mind. I'm not trying to praise myself or praise the Finnish way of life, but it has to start with your mind, because you know what you want. At the end of the day, you have this particular, unless you don't have a goal. If you don't have a goal, then everything will be difficult for you, for sure, because everything will be boring for you. So first you need to accept that you are now in Finland. The acceptance,
that is the first thing somebody has to do.
You have to accept that you are now in Finland.
And you are living life here in Finland.
Yes, you are living life here. You have to make things work for you. You have to follow the system. There are rules and regulations in this society. Don't bring your rules and regulations from your society back home, because you are totally living in another. Remember, we are used to Nairobi life, going into a matatu.
By the way, you are going to tell me the shocks that you saw, comparing.
Exactly. When you get into a public transport and the public transport is very silent, you're like, what is wrong? For me, I've lived in Nairobi. You get into a matatu and the mix, we have a screen there and the mix is playing all the way to the city center. And that is the vibe. If your matatu or your bus doesn't have that music system, you won't get clients. People will be like, that bus is boring.
It's true.
You
can come inside a bus and somebody is seated with a big space and you can't even sit on that seat there.
I'll move to the next empty row. And you're like, okay, is this normal? And it's normal. So the first thing in Finland is acceptance. And then know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then it becomes difficult. And then follow the rules and regulations. It is a country ruled by the law. We say in Swahili, Sheria Msumeno. The law is the hacksaw or the power saw, whatever it is. So you play with it, it chops you. So play by the book.
Comparing the way you know about the finances, about tax in Kenya and this process and Finland, you said is there different? You told me it's the same or it's different?
Very different. Because in Kenya, we have these brackets, taxation percentages in different classes. They'll say from 0 to 25,000, it is 24,000, it's 0%. Then the amount that you earn between 24,000 is, to 33 is, 25%. Then 33 to and above is 30%. It is so different. But here, at the beginning of the year, you go and tell the tax authority that this year I think I'll earn this based on your job. I'll earn 30,000, I'll earn 40,000. Then they give you a percentage.
Yes.
And then that is what your employer will use. In Kenya, it is standard.
It's standard?
Yeah, it is standard. They have these brackets. As I told you, they call it the graduated scale. They have these scales, which is standard. So at the end of the year, you file your returns, which when you file that return, you may find yourself in a positive or a negative position, meaning either you have to pay Kenya Revenue Authority or they have to refund you. But in Finland, we don't file.
And do they refund in Kenya?
Yeah, they've started refunding. Initially, it was just a story. You file, you are in a refundable position, but you'll never get that money.
Yes,
but I'm told like things are moving, provided you submit the proof and they go through your documentation. If it is clear, straightforward, you get your refund, and that's it.
So with Finland now?
Finland, you don't even file your taxes.
Yes.
Like it is the tax authority which will send you an invoice that you are in this positive position, or they tell you you are in a refundable position. They refund your money, and they tell you your money will hit your. In fact, you get a reminder that make sure you've updated your bank account that it is correct.
It's true.
And I was like, oh, so I get my refund without following up.
So is this system better?
Very, very okay.
But can it work in a place like Kenya?
Like
people can go and say like, okay.
It is difficult for Kenya, especially given that the informal sector is the main thing. People who are in regular jobs do not exceed 3% of the population. So, and those are the people that the tax brackets are applying. People going in the Juakali sector, that thing don't apply to them because they are working on hand to mouth. People going to the construction site every day. Remember, at the end of the day, they get their 500, their 1,000, and they go home. So some of them even don't pay taxes. So it is a bit difficult to apply to our economy unless everyone is positive about it, everyone is geared towards paying taxes, and we have a system that works. Because again, we have a challenge of upgrading our system every year, upgrading our policies every year, which may not work. It may not work. So we've started somewhere, but it is a long way for us to get there.
Wow.
It is a long way. The other thing is on taxation of companies. They're almost the same.
The same?
Yeah. Here in Finland and Kenya, it's almost the same. That one for individuals is where it is a bit difficult. Yeah, it's a bit difficult.
So when it comes to like now living here in Finland, the way you started living, you start working and everything, is there any other thing like you can say like it's a disadvantage of someone coming to live here like in Finland? Have you ever seen like anything that you really don't like at all like here in Finland?
I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage.
But it's hard like
don't come to Finland if your area of interest isn't something that is an area of interest to the Finnish economy.
That is true.
If your thought process, your career path is not something that is of priority to the Finnish economy, don't come to Finland.
It's true.
If you are thinking of being a lawyer or something like that, what are you coming to do in Finland?
It's true.
Because first you'll struggle with the language. You have to hack the language. Because you'll go to court with Finnish.
Yes, it's true.
And as a foreigner, you won't be that fluent within 4 years or 5 years with the language. And
I think coming here with an open-minded, like you can come and learn other things.
So, but if you are in this line of engineers, you can fix craft with your hand. If you want social work, if you want nursing, if you are a teacher, if you are a chef, those are the things that are of interest to the Finnish economy. So I would say the first thing, before even someone moves to any country, check what is of interest to that country. If it doesn't go in line with what you want, don't even waste your time. Because you'll be disappointed. You'll be greatly disappointed. So always check what is of interest to that economy, what thrives in that economy. Because that way you'll find satisfaction. Your time will not be wasted. You'll find you'll be compensated for the whatever service, and you'll feel a sense of belonging to that society.
It's true.
Because you'll easily get a job opportunity. Let's say for nurses, you see, they don't struggle. Even for IT people, the programmers, to be specific, they don't struggle that much. After school they get offers, even in the engineers, even chefs, even while they are still in school.
It's true.
They get very good offers. Even teachers, once you do your thing and you get the certification. So always check what is of interest.
So what about weather-wise? Climate? How was it your first winter?
That is what will send people away from Finland. Winter, where you have to wear 3
How was it
trousers.
for you?
Oh my God.
Were you excited? At first, I think you wanted to know how this winter looks like this snow.
You know, you get excited seeing the snow and everything until you go out there.
6 months of it, you've
worn a tight, you've worn a trouser, then you've worn a sweatpant on top, which has very thick wool. But you're still shaking. You've worn the thin socks, the thick socks, and winter shoes. But still it's not working. So the first winter was a bit difficult. The second, I can say, was a bit easy, but not very easy.
Not very easy, because you can't get used to this.
Actually, it was worse than the first one. Remember last year, 2023 winter, the temperatures went as low as minus 30. Minus 37.
Yes.
Like, what did I come to do here? That is when you feel like taking a vacation. But you remember you don't have enough vacation days. Or your pocket has said no. Yeah, but I can say slowly you get used to it. You won't see it being a problem. You have to just, they say there's no bad weather, it's the bad clothes. So you choose the clothes.
And they always say, like, you can't say you can't go anywhere. Because of the snow outside. You just have to wear good.
You just have wear good clothes for that weather. So that is the hack. But it's not easy. Even for the locals, it's not easy. You even find them saying, it's too bad. This season is too bad, but just brace yourself. And I would say, like the way you was just saying, be sure of what you want before you come.
It's true.
Because you can easily get discouraged. It can be very difficult because you don't have friends. You may even have friends like you guys, but you never meet.
It's true.
Sometimes
even if you have your spouse in the house, you guys don't see each other because she's working night shift, you are working during the day. She comes, she sleeps. You
never get like time to even interact with people.
It's true.
Because you have 2 or 3 shifts.
It's true.
Like I told you, in the morning I could be in the kindergarten. Thereafter I go to the restaurant or I go for a cleaning gig there. And that is how time moves. And then remember, I'm now like a consultant still with my finance team. I have a client back at home. I have to attend to their issue because I'm still doing my tax issues up to date. That is why my YouTube channel is still running.
Even we haven't talked about it, but maybe we're going to talk it about next time. You started a YouTube channel. Did you start it in Finland or you started it back home?
I started it back home. The same year I was traveling to Finland. And then now I got a challenge and I got here because of someone to help me to record the tools because I left them back home. I've not settled. I'm not yet okay financially to equip my studio here. So somehow things stalled. But I'm getting back now. I've finished school.
I want you to get back because I really want you to. I want to know about, again, the taxes now in Finland to understand it well, because for me, like somebody like me who wants to start a business, like I really want to know how the path to go through and everything. And I saw your YouTube channel and I loved it.
Thank you so
guys, I'm gonna put it down here. You guys can follow it. And the other thing I will want you to say, do you have any advice that you can just tell guys who are willing to come to Finland?
So actually, the whole process, you have to start preparing mentally. It starts with the mind. I think, for me, that is what I believe in. Everything plays in the mind. How you perceive it is how you will see it. Even if someone is seeing it on a positive light, you will see it on a negative light, if I may say so. So while preparing to Finland, I can say be sure of what you want. Get everything ready so that you don't get things hanging. And then you like, I didn't go because of this. So just get those bare minimums that is required. If it's about the funds, make sure it's okay. If it's what the school requires, if it's the language, if it's the certifications from school, just get it ready and follow the process. I think Study Info is one of the sites that is very easy to use when applying for school. So get it ready. If it is the interviews, the video interview that you will have after school, prepare yourself, go online. I'm sure there's some content that people have shared on their experience or how the interview process is, some of the questions that are frequently asked. So check them online. Just prep yourself. Have that mock interview with yourself, or like speak to yourself, like assume you're in that interview room after checking those questions, and just be confident.
Yeah, and there's another thing I want you even to explain to guys. According to you, when you are here in Finland, do you believe there are agents to bring people to Finland? Honestly, because for you said you applied alone. So I need you to just tell guys, these people are taking money from you and telling you like they are applying you to come to Finland. According to you, when you came to Finland, is there anybody like you had to give money so that you can come to Finland? Agents?
The time I spent a coin is when I was paying school fees.
Thank you very much. That's the only thing people are supposed to know, because Finland is very straight.
I even tell people, you don't need an agent to come to Finland. You know, people are used to believing that we need agents everywhere, because I don't know, you need an agent going to Australia, going to
UAE and everything.
Coming to Finland is very straightforward. No agent, nothing.
It's true.
The only time I spent my first coin is when I was paying for school fees. And then the second time is when I was paying for the visa application fee, the residence permit application fee at the embassy.
There's no middleman.
No middleman. Even the first time in 2021, I didn't use any middleman. Because I know there are agents, I don't know, bring people for vocational and everything, but it is something you can do it on your own. I did it, and I believe you can do it as well. Yeah, because, you know, I can say make Google your friend. As I said, my friend
just
is
research.
Don't get tired. Even when it comes to like moving the process, there's so much information online. Everything about, even on social media platforms, TikTok and everything. And I'm sure there are people creating content, and some of us will even create content in that line. So make Google your friend. Make good use of that internet. It will really
because
really
so many people have lost money because of this.
I did that. I used the internet, and right now I'm here. I finished school. I'm going back to school again. I'm working. I'm contributing to the society that I live in. Because one thing I appreciate here as well is that you pay taxes, you pay whatever you pay
and
you see what it does. I've seen what it does. So you contribute to the society that you are in positively, and you get back.
When are you going back? Are you planning to move back to Kenya anytime soon? Like completely?
Yes, I'll move back home, but after my PhD.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, since I'm this teacher. And I feel that that environment needs me as well. I've gotten this global experience, this experience from another country. So I would wish to impact them. Someone may not get up an opportunity to come to Finland, but I'll take Finland to Kenya.
That's nice.
Yes. So I'll move back home, which is in a few years, since a PhD here takes like 4 or 5 years. Based on if you don't get any interruption in between. So that's my plan. At the moment, we are on a break before we go back to school. So, and then we fix things.
The last thing I want to take you a bit for maybe 2 minutes. How is the comparing? I don't know if you already told me, but comparing like the learning, the way you are learning like this, you're saying you're doing PhD, and the way you did your master's, and the learning back home. Is there different?
So different. Number one, we learn the hard way.
Back home?
Yes. And we learn too much.
And we learn too much, it's true.
There is a lot of content that we learn, especially in high school and primary. We learn too much.
We were fed so many things.
I'm not being overconfident, but I think if you speak to a Kenyan today, they know all the countries in Africa.
It's true.
They know all the countries in Europe.
Yes.
You can easily mention a name.
They know
and
even history about other countries.
Yeah, and
more.
they'll tell you which continent it is in.
Yes.
Sometimes I may speak to someone, mention a country. I can even say Chile. I don't know where Chile is.
It's true. It's true.
But you tell a Kenyan where Chile, they'll tell you it's South America.
Yeah. Even the borders.
They'll even tell you the bordering countries. So I think our geography is too much.
History was even
too much. Like we learn too much content back at home, and we learn the hard way. Remember that doing the prep thing, waking up at 4 a.m., sleeping at 10 p.m., and you get punished if you don't wake up.
It's true.
It is a punishment. Yeah. You get caned. Yeah. Like we learn the hard way, but somehow here we focus here, and then remember, like we are kind of competing back at home. You have to get the perfect score, the perfect grade to get to the perfect university.
Back home, I think we were taught so much on theory.
Yes.
Here in Finland, I've come to realize they do so much practical.
Exactly.
Immediately you are coming from high school, they make you to go to a school that at least you can use your hands.
Exactly.
Yes. That's why you see many guys from Africa, like in Kenya, when they come here, they're all thinking about going offices. They do this. But if you come and change a bit, you come and see the way Finland is.
Exactly.
Somebody even doing a carpentry here in Finland, they get paid so good.
So much.
Something that you do with your hand is the best. Like
will be paid even twice what someone is working in the office is.
Yeah.
Someone sitting in the office will get 3,000.
Construction workers.
Or someone doing the craftsmanship will get 6,000, 7,000.
Yeah, it's true.
Totally disparity.
That's what I learned from Finland. And
it is totally different. The people doing the hands job get very little. The office people make big money.
Big money.
It is the reverse here. Yeah, it's the reverse here. So, and then I can say something in Finland is hard work pays. Provided you get out, make things, do something that is needed in the society, you get a reward.
Wow.
Here, hard work pays.
It's true.
Back home, you can wake up in the morning. You go back home without anything.
And here again, when you work and they pay you in hours, you feel like every hour of yours like is paid. You feel like you really want even to work more.
Exactly.
Because the more you work, the more money you get.
Yeah, the more money you get. Yeah, so you get instant feedback. You get that instant gratification. It may not be your dream job, but the compensation you get is like, at least I did something and I got compensated well. So you don't even feel bad. Unless now you are still living your dream life back home, you see, because you have to, that thing I told you about acceptance, you have to accept that you've transited. I always say remember you used to have the mono thing in high school.
Yes.
You are a mono in your next level.
It's true.
You may be a senior here, but now move to Australia, you'll be a mono there.
Back to the
drawing board.
Yes.
And that is exactly what happens. So when you come here, lower your expectations, learn the way of life, observe what people do.
And people should know, like, these first years that you're coming, it will really show how you're going to handle.
Exactly. It will shape. It will shape your way forward.
Your mentality and everything.
Your mentality. So don't be scared. I think people get scared a lot. Don't be scared. Make Google your friend, and just be ready to flex yourself. Be very flexible. That is what I can say. Okay. Flexibility pays here.
June, thank you very much for coming.
Yes.
I know now you are supposed to be traveling back to your city. You're coming out from this village. Thank you for coming, and I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
And I hope we can do even more.
Together,
and we can see how it goes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, so I appreciate your time as well to share my small story.
Yes.
I know I can share more, but we still have time.
Yeah, you can say your YouTube channel. Which is your YouTube channel?
Just my name, June Cheruto.
June Cheruto.
Yeah, basically that channel is basically for personal finance and taxation. I'm a personal finance coach.
board mass woman.
Yeah,
You know about
I'm
numbers.
a math person. Numbers are my friends.
Yes.
So privately, I do coaching on personal finance, how you
Okay.
can plan your money, budgeting, investments, how just being smart with your money. That is what I do with individuals, and taxation both for individuals and corporates. Yeah. So that is what I love doing, and teaching generally.
Thank you
I
very
just
much.
love teaching.
Karibu
Thank
sana.
you so much.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. That's it, guys.
Yes.